Welcome to the Church of What's Happening Now. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Fucking Thursday, July 16th. What can I tell you? You got the world by the fucking balls. That's all I can tell you. Right or wrong?
What did he say? Was it yesterday or today? Like you have big balls and a neck brace?
I'm showing up with a big dick and a neck brace, motherfucker. Just in case, don't get confused. Just in case you swallow this fucking helmet, your neck goes back. I got you covered. You know what I'm saying? I don't have.
Oh, it's for her.
Yeah. Who do you fucking think the neck brace is for? Some
That's
guy
romantic of you.
Unless your name is fucking Chad or something like that, or fucking Corey.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. You want to go hang out with the boys. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's fucking here. It's July 16th. You're sitting around scratching. Look at Lee scratching his head.
Oh, I got like 10 minutes.
I already gave him a 500 milligram anti-Dolores edible. I gave him a little corner of the fucking...
so I had at least 100 probably, right? 80?
Nah, you took a little fucking piece.
I had 2 big pieces.
I gave you 30 milligrams.
It's always 30 milligrams.
Ready to fucking go.
You should have a line of edibles and it's just everything is 30 milligrams.
Everything. Everything is always 30. Everything's beautiful. Check it out. There's a nice little... Look, she don't even put it in the bag for us, anti-Dolores. That's why I love it. There's a chocolate... death bomb. You could fucking throw this on Palestine.
I wish they would.
Unfucking believable. We're here, we're queer. We didn't do yesterday because I had the fight companion, so what's the fucking difference? I'm going to do 2 podcasts in one day before I kill myself. Let's spread them out. I hope you enjoyed them. A lot of people mad at me all the time. They're like, you didn't talk, you were all high. I wasn't either. When you're in a room with 2 fucking guys, one guy that's a commentator, the other one is a fighter, what am I going to say about a fight? What am I going to throw my 2 cents in, my stupidity in? That's where you go back to fucking trains, planes, and automobiles, and you go back to Steve Martin. What could Steve Martin have done in the presence of John Candy? He would have got squished. What was he going to say? So all you could do was a little body language. So there's a couple people that caught it. They were like, hey, man, you like Muhammad Ali? You rope-a-dope a bitch, and you just throw a punch when you need to. And that's what I like doing in that presence. You have to know when to strike, unless then you become too overbearing. So I don't want people to think I was too fucking stoned or whatever. I don't like podcasts when you have 4 people trying to talk.
Yeah.
You know, they're a conjunction type podcast. It's fun for a while, but it's different. But I want people to understand where you stand in that. If you're in a room, if you're doing a basketball podcast and you got Julius Erving and Magic Johnson on the fucking table, what stupidity are you going to add to this?
Yeah.
What stupidity could I possibly add to that table? I could add a little color to it. So please, it's not that I was stoned or I was just trying to be quiet. I was just listening, watching, paying attention.
Some good fights. And you know what? And it's not even just because you were on it, but I watched the full fights with the fight companion. That's a pretty cool way to watch a fight. I mean, it's not as in-depth as when Rogan's on like the pay-per-view, but it was interesting.
Well, they go on other tangents.
Yeah.
You know, which is always good too. But, hey, listen, man, whatever to make anything that helps you, that makes a performance interesting.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to come down to that. One of my friends told me, TJ, said that Rogan should start a podcast where he commentates along with the UFC or whatever the fuck it is.
I could see the UFC going to it because I'm sure there's a lot of fans who, and just because I didn't hear them because I had the podcast up, I'm sure the commentators last night did a great job. But when you have Rogan doing it for so long, you have people who are really loyal to him, and I could see, since everything's on the internet, is heading towards being on the internet, fuck it. You have 3 choices of commentators. If you don't like the ones we have for free, Rogan's on here for an extra buck, or fucking they have another UFC fighter on there on a different one. They could probably have 3 or 4 teams. It'd be interesting.
No, that's very intelligent. That's I never looked at. I had a great time. You know, it was the first time I met Brendan Schwab. Hell of a nice guy. You know, it's amazing that 3 of my friends are 26 years old. And I've been thinking about that all night.
He's 26?
Yeah, he's going to be a baby too, right? Look him up. I can't tell on this computer, but I don't have a fucking computer. What the fuck am I talking about? But it's just really weird that you guys are 26 years old. We got into that conversation a little bit on Monday where I was saying that I've been thinking a lot about that lately, how I had nothing, zero going on at 26. At 26, I was coming out of fucking prison, and the only reason why I had the things I had was because of the girl I was with. It wasn't because I was like I said, I was making $7,000 a month before I went to prison and having a hard time paying rent. Like I would have to hide from the landlord for fucking 3 days because I didn't have the money to pay rent. I always had to get an advance from my job. That's how fucked up my money situation was. That I knew how to pay rent and I knew how to pay bills and everything. I just didn't want to pay them. You know, I didn't want to pay anything on time. Did I have a credit card then? Yeah. I had a Visa with like a $500 limit that I paid, you know?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 31.
Yeah, 31.
It's close.
Close.
Yeah.
5 years away. 31, 26. It's really fucking no difference. But it's amazing how I that day that you had mentioned it, that I had spoken to you about it, I went home and I was like, wow. Lee and D'Agostino and all these young guys, at least they know what the fuck they want to do at 26. They're in the ball game, you know. I bumped into somebody at the airport the other day, and we were bullshitting, and he asked me a question. He goes that he felt really bad about asking anybody else this. You ready for this? What he said to me? He goes,
what?
When do you realize you're going to leave your house? Did you, before you went to college, did you think you were leaving Boston?
Yeah.
You knew that already. Did you want to go away for college?
Well, I that was maybe one of the mistakes I made. I went to a school in Boston. It was a good film school. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I kind of wish I went to Drexel in Philly, even though it wasn't as good of a program, just to get out of Boston. And it's a little bit different for me because I went to film school, so the only places you can go really are New York and L.A. So it wasn't really even a choice. There's some people who stay in Boston, but and good for them, but they don't really end up doing anything.
How old were you when you knew you were going to leave Boston? Honestly, when was the first time it crossed your mind?
I don't know about leaving Boston. I don't remember that thought, but the joke in my family is that since I was 2, I wanted a job, an apartment, and a car. I've always wanted just to be older and out. I've never, and I had a great childhood, but it's just I've always wanted to be out and on my own, and it's just luckily. I mean, for me, I feel lucky that it was easier for me.
What were the reasonings of you wanting to leave your hometown? I mean, you're a nice kid. You never got arrested. You have no warrants, no drug problems. I mean, what was the reason? Did you think there was more out there? Did you think that?
Yeah, I was bored in my hometown, and it's a great place to raise kids, but there was nothing to do. There's a Blockbuster. There's no like you said, you could hop on a bus to New York. To get on a bus, I would have had to gone like 30 or 40 minutes down the road. There's nothing where I grew up. So
now, how far are you from downtown Boston?
30, 40 minutes. It wasn't that far, but it's just there's nothing. And if you don't, when I turned 16, maybe that's probably when. Because when I could start driving, and I could go into the city and go do stuff, that was probably around the age when I knew I was going to leave.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.